Welcome to Thoughts Roundup. So nice to be with you. You know, one day, a while back, on the program, I rung my bells for you. I have a whole bunch of cowbells, and I rung those bells for you. And today, I would like to show you some of my hats. Now this hat right here, I think Brother Scott Smith from Columbia, South Carolina, I think he might have given me this hat. This is kind of a Scottish hat. That's where my folks came from originally, through a lot of other country. They come from Scotland. I had a chance to preach a camp meeting in Scotland, and I hated to fly so bad at the time I didn't do it, and I always have regretted that. But anyway, I should have gone home. I'd have liked to see the Moors. I'd like to, I believe about 15% of the country is Moors. Look out across the marshy country, and I'd no doubt get the feeling of probably why we left many, many years ago. I'd have liked to see the old Cotter's house. That's the tenant farmer that lived in those. I would have enjoyed seeing a lot of things. Of course, they have mountains in Scotland, and they have beautiful scenic country. I feel bad when I read about they've turned the churches into bars and all that. That's all so sad. But anyway, I appreciate the hat. And whenever I put it on, I used to have one that Brother Smith had given me that was a lot more Scottish than that. I enjoy wearing it because I kind of feel about a home that I never will see. And of course, then I've got this hat here from the Navy. I was aboard the USS Smalley, DD-565. It was 365 and 1/2 feet long. It was called a tin can because it bobbed around on the water so much. And storms, we was in a 7-day storm, hurricane. I wish sometimes maybe we'll talk about it a little bit. I know I can't bore you with my war stories. I was on the ship for almost 4 years. Someday I'll tell you about catching a whale, and don't let me forget to tell you about catching a whale. Well, Navy times. I lived for the Lord in the Navy. Never got to go to church very much. And when I came home, it was Christmas, and they was having Christmas programs instead of having church. I'd go back without getting a good church service under my belt. But I'd made up my mind to live for the Lord, and when you do that, you just do. And, well, of course, then here Here you've got Western hat. This kind of puts you in Louis L'Amour mode. Old Louis L'Amour, he wrote about Scotland, you know. The Sackets came from Scotland. That was his tough people. They came from Scotland. And I've written, I don't know how many, but probably around 20 or more Western stories, Western books. And I can't say this hat helped me any, but when you do put on a hat like this, I think it would make you look better on a horse. And I think if you're going to have a gun strapped on, you need a hat like this. So anyway, I've got a couple more. You know, here's a hat right here. I think this hat was given to me by Brother Tommy Kraft. He's a hat man. He wears hats all the time. And I think he wears them better than I do. And then I've got a hat here that I don't know why anybody wear a hat like this. I really don't. I just really never had a desire. Maybe it's because I don't have a cane and don't do a soft shoe routine or something. I just never did see the need to wear. But I've had this hat for so long, I feel like it's part of me. But what I'd like to say is, folks, we wear a lot of different hats. Whenever you are a Christian, you wear a hat. When you're a father, you change hats. When you're a mother, often you change hats. A father has to wear many hats. He has to go out in the backyard and be coach and hit the ball with his son. Mother has to show their daughter how to play with her doll stuff. She wears a lot of hats. One of the big hats is when we were living for the Lord. It's not just wearing a church hat. We live for the Lord all the time. Just to realize that there's so many different avenues we have to take to be a full, complete, dedicated person. We can't go into some kind of a shell and say, well, I'm just not like that. No. When we have children to raise and it's our responsibility, we have to do a lot of things that we don't want to do. And like I mentioned first, to be a Christian, live for God. I don't want to say we ever take off our church hat. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's just one of the hats that we have to be conscious of how we live. We have to be prayerful. We have to constantly live before our children the way that we ought to. We have to care for how we look and act and are thought of in the community who wear so many hats. And when we put on our hat to do whatever work we find ourselves in, if it's a carpenter, along with that nail apron and the place to carry the hammer, we have to have a hat of honesty. If we're a doctor, we have to be honest and live up to the oath of our profession. Oh, there's so many hats. Oh, I guess since I don't really care for this hat, but if I need to wear it, I better wear it whether I like it or not. Whether I think it fits my personality or not. I can't just say, well, it's just not me. Well, some things we need to learn to make me. God bless you.